Hi Presto English viewers, if this is your first time watching our video, welcome to our channel. You're probably here because you're looking for CELPIP practice questions. This video will have listening practice part 4, 5, and 6 for the CELPIP test. If you haven't done the first half, I've put the link above for you. A couple of things I'd like to mention before you start. Remember that you can only listen to the audio clip once. You will hear the audio through a headset that they will give you at the test center. Now have your pen and paper ready to take notes. The answer will be given at the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more awesome English lessons and click that like button if you think this video deserves it. Now we'll begin the second half of the listening test. We'll start with part 4, listening to a news item.
Many of you have customers who like to try to use less single-use foodware by bringing in their own cup or bowl. But many restaurants are afraid to fill someone else's bowl or cup for fear of health risks that come with allowing outside containers in. If a customer gets sick and blames the salad, was it really the salad? Or was it the reusable bowl that person brought in? So the law doesn't require restaurants to fill food containers brought in by the customer. But it also doesn't prohibit you from doing this. It's your choice. Existing law says customer-owned containers may be filled and returned to the customer if you have a contamination-free process for dispensing food. A bill proposed this year aims to clarify existing law by requiring restaurants who choose to do this to, quote, isolate the container from the serving surface or sanitize the serving surface after each filling. The idea is to protect other customers in case the last customer's personal bowl or cup wasn't clean. The bill would also require the food facility to have written procedures to prevent cross-contamination and make written procedures available to health inspectors. In existing law, the requirements to prevent cross-contamination aren't clear. AB 619 aims to fix that. So does CRA support this bill? Well, for now, we neither support it nor oppose it. But along with health inspectors, we're talking to the bill's author to make sure food safety is a top priority, while also allowing restaurants the choice of serving their customers this way.
Have you read the email from the head office this morning?
Many people were surprised, but I saw it coming.
I knew it would happen sooner or later.
Really? I know their sales number hasn't been great, but I didn't expect that he would shut down the entire sales office in Montreal.
If we are not careful, we may be next. This project needs to go off without a hitch.
Yeah, I think everyone is aware of the fact that the fate of our company is tied to this project. We have been working on this for the last 12 months, and the end is near. So we need to stay focused.
I understand how important this is, but something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Well, our client isn't exactly the most pleasant to do business with. He keeps asking me to make design changes, and I don't know how to handle those requests. Those changes have put me close to not meeting our deadlines.
I know what you mean. I once was in a similar situation. I wanted to keep the client happy, but in the end, I politely told him that it's not possible.
But our client won't be pleased if you say that.
That's definitely not what I want to happen.
Well, it comes down to how you tell him.
Why don't you tell him that we are short-handed and can't accommodate his request?
I'm not sure if I like that idea. He might think that we are not taking his project seriously. He could make a request to allocate more people from another office to this project.
Do you have a better idea?
First, we should tell him that we understand how important the project is to him, and we are doing our best to make this a success.
I like that. We should put ourselves in their shoes.
Exactly. And tell him that making too many changes may put this project at risk, and none of us wants that to happen.
But what if he still wants to propose some changes?
I guess I can tell him that we can make up to 2 revisions, and he should give me at least a 3 days notice.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
Thanks for your suggestion. I'll send him an email later this afternoon.
Great. Now I suddenly feel that this project is gonna be a complete success.
Our country has come to a crossroad, and now you have the power to change the political landscape of America. As I have said time and time again, if you elect me to be your face in Congress, there are several things I will do to ensure that your needs are met day in and day out across this land. First of all, I plan on proposing new legislation that will invest more tax dollars in our public schools, not only to meet the needs of today, but to encourage developing minds for the future. Such new funding would be used to hire and retain good teachers, build and renovate new schools, and give great tax breaks to classroom teachers. To accomplish this, I'm proposing no new tax increases, but rather a rechanneling of our existing tax revenue to meet these demands. Now, the incumbent and his staff have been talking about this for years with little progress. I plan to change all of this now. Second, economic development is on the minds of most of you, particularly with regard to our downtown area. For many years, economic prosperity has been neglected by current government leaders, and I plan to change all of that. I'm proposing a new city center revitalization project that would promote new businesses, new residential areas, and new open green areas to bring people back to the heart of our city. Current leaders have allowed the city to die, preferring to invest in sport arenas in the outlying areas. And third, I'm proposing the construction of a new light rail system to be built over the next decade to meet the growing demands of better and more efficient transportation for years to come. My opponent and his administration have lacked the vision of long-term solutions, preferring to take a look-and-see approach. Such a short-sighted stance fails to consider the needs of future generations, our children and our grandchildren. My generation doesn't want to be remembered for a road we build today, but for a more visionary transportation system for our future. And finally, my opponent has cited my inexperience as a reason why you shouldn't vote for me. However, I'm not a career politician who has lost touch with the everyday needs and concerns of day-to-day people. My work as an educator and business owner has given me a unique perspective on the pains and challenges you face. If elected, I promise to give my all to my elected position and make sure your issues and concerns are fully addressed at the local and national level. Thank you.
We have finished the listening test. If you want to say thank you, we'd be super happy to get a thumbs up from you, and we encourage you to subscribe to Presser English. Now it's time to look at the answers. Part 1, Question 1. The news discuss food safety. They talk about a few other things, including a sanitizing method, but the main point is food safety. How restaurants can maintain their food safe even though customers might want to bring their own containers. Number 2, according to the current regulation, restaurants are given the freedom to use containers brought by customers. There's no specific law that tells them if they have to use it or refuse to do it. Number 3, to serve food in a container brought by a customer, restaurants are required to have B, a hygienic way to transfer food. Number 4, the use of customers' containers can D, expose the food to unwanted substance. That's the main concern being discussed in the news. Number 5, the proposed law is better than the existing one because C, it clarifies some points that are unclear. So the existing regulation is not very detailed, and the proposed regulation, the proposed law, is expected to address that problem. Part 5, Number 1. What happened to the sales office in Montreal? It's D, they are shut down. So the office is closed and the employees are laid off. Number 2, what did Brenda think of the email? The answer is A, she expected it. It seems like Arlo is the only one who's surprised. Even Chris also said that he saw it coming. Number 3, why is Arlo worried about the project? It's clear from the conversation that he has an issue with the client, and that is C. The client made too many requests and Arlo is having trouble keeping up with him. And 4, what suggestion did Brenda make? She suggested that Arlo tells the client that they don't have enough workers, which is A. Moving on to number 5, why is Chris hesitant to go with Brenda's suggestion? So Chris seems to disagree because he thinks the client won't be satisfied. It's B. And number 6, what did Arlo choose to do? After the discussion, Arlo decided to ask the client to give an advance notice, and that is C. 7, where did Chris's idea come from? So Chris's idea came from his past experience. At one point he mentioned that he had a similar experience like this in the past, and he had to politely tell the customer about this issue. And the last question for this part, number 8, what did Arlo like about Chris's idea? Our answer is C, it acknowledges the client's point of view. Arlo mentioned that they should put themselves in the client's shoes. Part 6, number 1. The speaker's purpose is to convince people to vote for him, which is C. He was giving a speech to persuade people to choose him in the upcoming election. And number 2, the speaker wants to raise more money for education by D, reallocating tax revenue. Instead of reallocating, he uses the word rechanneling, which has the same meaning. And number 3, to educate the people, the speaker is unlikely to, so we're supposed to pick one that he is not going to do. The answer should be D, build a train system, because that is his effort to meet the growing demand for transportation, not to educate the people. Number 4, in building the local economy, the speaker wants to focus on B, rebuilding the city centers. And this is the opposite of what the current administration is doing. The current government is focusing on building the suburbs, but the speaker believes that they should shift their focus back on the city center, on the downtown areas. Number 5, when it comes to transportation, the current government seems to be focused on the short-term needs. They're not thinking long-term. And that is, again, one of the things that the speaker wants to change. Number 6, one strength that the speaker has is A, the ability to understand the reality faced by ordinary citizens. The opponents are attacking his inexperience, but he wants to set himself apart by showing this ability. He is close to the ordinary people. He knows their situations. What's your score on this listening test? Let us know in the comments, share your thoughts, or ask us any questions you have in mind. You may feel that this second half is more difficult, and I agree with you, but our videos will help you in your test preparation. See you next time!